Hey, kia ora, Helen, Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling, tune it up Tuesday. Sorry, I've had this song in my head for ages. I thought it was the theme song from a TV show called Black Beauty, and it wasn't. So now I'm sort of like, I am so sure it was. I thought it was The Adventures of Black Beauty or something, but it wasn't. That was a British TV program, and it had this theme song, and I can remember a few words to it, but not all of them, and it's driving me batty. And so I just thought, well, I'll go look up The Adventures of Black Beauty for the theme song, see what it is. Saw it on the video, quickly played it, went, yep, nope, that's not the wrong song. That's the wrong song. Yes, I remember that theme song, but that's not the song. I remember that it was music, but I'm like, no, there was, and I can remember the opening credits looked very different to what I was seeing on the video, and I was on the YouTube, and I was like, no, that's not it. So I'm going to have to figure it out. And when you do, you'll hear a great big yeehaw coming from, or some noise of some sort coming from Arizona. Don't you hate it when you get something stuck in your head and you can't remember all the words, and you're trying to figure out what the song is called or what the lyrics are, and are the lyrics what you remember them to be, and you're trying to search it and Google it and all of that sort of stuff, and what you thought it was part of, it's not, it's something else, and it's just sort of like, ay. Oh, that's just annoying me. And I keep thinking like down in the middle. Anyway, it's going to play around in my head until I figure out all the lyrics to it. So how was your, well, I guess that could be part of Tune Up Tuesday. There you go. I'm missing lyrics. Tune Up Tuesday. How was your Tune Up Tuesday? What changes did you make today? What tune-ups did you do? Did you do a little tweak, or did you decide it's time to get the sledgehammer out and smash it all up and start it again? Make those big changes and everything else. What did you decide to do for Tune Up Tuesday today? Let us know in the comments below. Did you make a small change, or did you make a big change? We just had another flowy day in Arizona where everything just seemed to flow beautifully and just fall into place. And yes, it all just flowed. It was a very flowy day. I even got Kathy Baxter. She's putting YouTube links into my comments here. If you guys can see the comments, Kathy's putting YouTube links in here. Thank you, Kathy. I'll be checking them out afterwards. So yeah, but another flow day. It was just sort of like finished the live, and then I just got myself organized here on the desk, and then just sat down and just started working. I got my big project I'd been working on was complete. It was completed. There is some fine tuning that does need to be done to that project, but the overall task is completed. I just have to go back and double check everything, and there's a couple of things I'm checking on, and yeah, it was a big task. It got done, it got completed, and now it's just going back and fine tuning some pieces of it to make sure it flows smoothly and is well understood. So that was that. Got all my tasks done for the day. Had a nice easy time on the help chat this afternoon, and got some other work done in between, and other work meaning stuff that they had assigned me to do, and that was kind of fun. I got to break things. It was awesome. So but yes, I've been given a project to work on, and I've been working on that project between the chats. So when I'm not chatting with people and helping them out, I'm working on this project that they've given me to do, and it's been a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun, so I enjoyed doing that. And then it was just, but the day just flowed smoothly. There was no, and I know that we're going to start revving up soon, because we get into the holiday seasons and stuff, and yeah, things are going to start getting a little wild soon, just because of the time of year we're coming into. And school's now back, so things are starting to pick up a little bit, and I know that's just going to get even more picked up. More picked up. Where did that come from? It's going to get busier. So our tell your story question of the day. Oh, and then afterwards at 5 o'clock, it was sort of like, I've been getting up and walking around, taking breaks, and I've slept, and I just thought, I'm just going to go lay down on the bed. Not going to sleep, just going to go lay down on the bed and just read for a bit rather than sitting. I just want to do something other than sitting. And and so I went and laid down on the bed and I set the timer. And what's really funny is when I set the timer on the phone so that I don't, so if I do fall asleep, I'm at least awake and up in time for my life. Zeffy comes and sits down with me, but she goes over the far side, as far on the far side of the bed as she can possibly get. And so all I can play with is her toes on her feet. And so I start playing with her toes and stuff. And she kind of moves a little closer and butts her head underneath my hand and, so to say, scratch my head instead of my toes. But then she sort of curled up and went back to sleep again, where I couldn't reach her at all. So I was just like, fine, whatever. Unless I moved, and I wasn't moving, I was comfortable. And so I'm laying there reading. And then when the alarm goes off, and the second it goes off, whoosh, this dog flies out of the bedroom and comes and goes and sits and waits by the door, like she thinks we're going to go for a WALK. And she sits there and waits for me to come out of the bedroom. It's so funny. So our tell your story question of the day: what did you study in college? And by college, I don't mean just the universities. I also mean the community colleges, the trade schools, somewhere where you went and got a degree or a certification. And did you follow your career path into that degree or certification, or did you do something completely different? Sorry, I'm just reading Jason's comment. It says, my degree followed my career path in normal fashion. My collegiate path was as abnormal as possible. And with him, I could totally believe that. Oh, we're going to have a talk soon. I could totally believe that. But, so what college, trade school, or something that you went to where you got a degree or a certification, did you stay in that field or did you do something completely different? I've known people who got, degrees in accounting, and they're not in there. They never stepped foot in an accounting office. They went and did something completely different. Like they went and raised horses. Okay, yeah, I can understand the accounting degree from the business perspective. Yes, they started a business in horse breeding and they're doing very well in it, and the accounting will come in handy with that. But, their overall thing was they got a degree in accounting and started a horse breeding business. I've known other people who studied to become a teacher and ending up going into becoming a financial planner. And I'm just like, wait, what? So some people will, and it's quite interesting because statistics, and I can't remember the exact statistics, but I know it's over 50% of what people study in college, they do not follow. When they graduate college, they don't go into that field at all. And I'm sort of like, then why go study that? Or is it the fact that you go study it and you get the degree and you think, oh, well, I'm not really cut out for this, but instead of changing degrees or changing your majors or whatever, you keep going at it to graduate and then go off and do something completely different that you've always had your heart set on. That to me, it's sort of like, well, why didn't you just follow your heart in the first place? Makes sense to me. I followed my heart. I said I was going to go into the guidance counselor at school kept telling me I had to have a backup plan for the Air Force. I told him I didn't need a backup plan for the Air Force, that I was going to be joining, that I would get my application would be accepted and I would be going into the Air Force the following year. The cool part was that he got the call from he was talking to the recruiting officer for the Air Force, and he's the one that came down and told me that I'd been accepted into the Air Force. Yes. So from somebody who kept telling me I would not get in because I was a woman, and remember, this is back in the 80s, it was very rare for them to take women. I had to have a backup plan because if they decided not to take me, what was I going to do? And I was just sort of like, I'm not having I don't need a backup. I do not need a backup plan. I was so insistent on that, and he was just as insistent trying to get me to have a backup plan because, we need to figure out what courses you're going to be taking in the 7th form, and because you're not doing very well in math this year, we can stay away from all your math, stay away from any math classes. Yeah, so I went and took statistics, and you can tell how much. Although I will give my guidance counselor kudos for helping me get through exams. I had terrible exam anxiety at school, And the thing was is that what annoyed the teachers is that they knew I knew the stuff. They knew I knew the material inside out, back to front, upside down. The problem was that when I sat in a test environment, my brain would shut down from test anxiety. And so they finally figured out what the problem was. And so in my second to last year of schools, I was 15 at the time, the guidance counselor took me aside and started coaching me on how to get through the exams. And basically all of our exams were done on paper with pencil and paper. They were all written, this is the 80s. They were all handwritten, and you either had long answers, short answers, multiple choice. Long answers, short answers, and multiple choice, and sometimes essays. And sometimes and I love the English ones because you had to make up things. They'd give you a picture and they say, write a story about this picture. And go, okay, I can do that. Although in my exam, I would freeze up about it. But give it to me in class, not a problem. So what they did is they would have me, they coached me that when I got into the exam room, I had to sit down, take a deep breath. I was not allowed to and of course they had the exam papers already in front of you on the table, but you weren't allowed to touch them. And you were in the assembly hall. They had all these desks set up in the assembly hall, and they would have teachers taking turn at monitoring the exams and things. And these were just for our mid-year exams, our end-of-year exams. All of our exams were done in the hall, in the assembly hall. And they would tell you when you could turn the paper over and when you could start. And they had the big clock up the front so you could see it. And basically I was told to ignore the clock at the front, turn my piece of paper, turn the exam booklets over, and read. Just read. Do nothing else but read the exam. And so I'd start at the first page and read the exam with all the instructions. And then I would go through and read all the questions. And then he said, now, when you've read all the questions, he says, don't even try to answer them. Just read the questions. Do not answer them. I'm like, okay. And then he says, then go back to the front and read it through a second time. And as you go through the second time, start figuring out what you think the answer will be for each question, and some ideas for what you could do if it's a long answer, a short answer, or an essay, what some of the ideas that you can come up with. He said, but on multiple choice, he said, don't even look, he says, you're already going to know what multiple choice is, so just start thinking about what the answers might be. And then he said, on the third time through, that's when you pick up your pencil, that's when you write your name at the top, and that's when you start going and answering your questions. Like that, my exam scores changed. It was that was one thing I will give the guidance counselor kudos for. We battled a lot on a lot of different things, but for getting me through exams and helping me pass my exams and stuff, that was huge. That was huge because it helped me get through the national exams we had to do at the end of the year. It got me through all our mid-year exams, end-of-year exams. It just got me through all the exams I had to do after that, and the scores started going up, and the teachers were sort of like, oh, thank goodness for that. Because they knew that I knew the information. I was answering the questions in class. I was doing the pop quizzes that we'd have in class. But when it came to doing the big exams, my brain shut down. I was even tutoring. This is the funny thing. I was even tutoring other students in the class. So they knew I knew the information. But when it came to exams, I could not get that information out of my head. So being able to have a guidance counselor who, even though, yes, we we knocked heads a few times on different things, the fact that he was able to get me sitting and passing exams, that I give him huge kudos for. But the argument about having a backup plan for the Air Force, yeah, I wasn't backing down on that one. That was my goal. I knew I was going to join the Air Force, and that was it. There was just no question about it. So yes, so he kind of had, yes. So anyway, so I didn't really, so we didn't have the degrees or trade school. I guess it kind of was trade school. Yeah, we had trade schools because when you go in the Air Force, you got trained up on your job and stuff. And so, yeah, I did that for a little bit. Went something completely different when I left there. But it wasn't until I arrived to the States that I actually went and went to community college and got 3 associate degrees at one time. But anyway, if you want to hear more of that story, you're going to have to go back and watch part 1. So that's it for me for now. I am out of here for the day. Go have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your Tune-Up Tuesday. I'm going to go watch the YouTube that Kathy has kindly put into the chat for me. Oops, there it is. See, this channel here. How the hell did I do that? How the heck did that come? Oh my god. Oh, there's a hide button. Look at that. All right, I'm going to go. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your day, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hey, konera. How did I do that?